Okay, now we can turn it to the. I always like doing this, Mike, because I run hot. I'm Italian. I run very hot, and a lot of times there's a mantra that I try to live by, but I never do. And the mantra that I try to live by is don't let the passion of the moment degrade your intelligence. And I know that to be true. I think we all do. Mm-hmm. However, we've all lost our cool. We've all said things we wanted back, particularly in the heat of the moment. Mm-hmm. I don't want anybody fired over their performance on Monday night. I didn't say that I did, but I'm just saying a lot of times when we're watching the game, you're like, fire the bomb!
That's
well, you don't really mean that. So now we've had 36 hours, sort of a buffer to completely and fairly assess what we saw Monday night. Mm-hmm. And we can go around the horn. Bull, you can start. Has anything changed now that you've had a little bit more time to let it marinate and kind of figure out what's what?
Yeah, I mean, so yesterday when we started the show, we were lamenting the injury to Nick Chubb.
We were.
And I was like, come on, cheer up, blah, blah, blah. I was trying to get people fired up.
And it did feel like a funeral in here.
And it did.
Yeah, it did.
And I realized soon, about 30 seconds after I said it, that I was too soon on that. So we needed to let it breathe for a little more.
Right.
So now 24 hours later, I'm saying, listen, we're all heartbroken about Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
I read today that he might need to have 2 different surgeries.
Monica Robbins on Channel 3 told us that last night.
Okay.
She said she talked to a Cleveland Clinic specialist and said he's likely looking at it.
It's horrible.
It is.
There's nothing to be happy about when it comes to Nick Chubb.
No.
It's terrible. Well, I will say on the football side of things is this season is not over. Okay? As great as Nick Chubb is, if you ask me the percentage chance of the Browns winning the division, making the playoffs, all these things, they all went down.
They're 1-1. How could the season be over?
But their percentage of success this year has gone down to some degree.
Yes.
There's no denying that. But I don't think it's gone down. Like when Aaron Rodgers got hurt for the Jets.
So it's over.
It's over.
That's a wrap.
That's it. They got no shot of making the playoffs.
Just like it would be for any team that lost their elite quarterback.
That's right. The Browns still have a chance. Now, it's all on 4, as you already mentioned.
Yeah.
He's got to do it. He has got to be the guy that they paid a lot of money to, that they paid the draft picks to. And if he's performing, I don't care. I don't care about the money, the draft picks, none of it. They traded for him because they believed he was a superstar, because he was a superstar in Houston. He has shown virtually no sign of that, and we have to see it. I haven't changed my opinion on Deshaun Watson. I still think that guy is there. I believe this is mostly mental. It's possible he never gets over that and he never gets great again. We're all praying, and I don't pray, but we all are praying.
You can pray to the football gods.
That does not happen. We all want Deshaun Watson to be great again, right? Make Deshaun Watson great again.
That sounds like a hat. Yeah. I wouldn't make it red, but it sounds like a hat.
Make it orange.
And that's just the thought. It's like, okay, we take a breath. This part of us grieves in a way. It grieves. I don't know if grieves is the right word, but for Nick Chubb. But the football part of us, we got to keep moving. We got to keep plugging forward. As Rocky Balboa said, keep moving forward. Nothing hits as hard as life. You got to keep. It's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. There you go. Browns got to keep moving forward.
You've watched that movie a number of times.
Love Rocky.
You want to grade my performance in that movie?
You did a good job in that movie. It's excellent.
I agree with that. I think, and I like that kind of as a mantra. You know, life is going to knock you down.
That's right.
It's not about how many times it knocks you down. It's just as long as you get on your feet as many times as you get knocked down.
And nobody's been knocked down as much as Browns fans.
You're right about that.
Nobody.
You're right.
You, all of you watching us right now, you've been knocked down more than anybody. This is the latest punch to the gut. This one's worse, right? It's an uppercut to the jaw.
It might be to the middle regions.
Yeah, right. Might be.
I don't know if it's to the gut.
But like you always do, you get up. You get up and keep moving forward. Be out there. You be out there Sunday for the Titans game. By the way, I was supposed to go tailgating this weekend. I can't go. I apologize. But I just a couple things. But,
okay.
But I will be there for a tailgate at another, probably in October instead. But everybody, let's go. The season's not over, but it's all about Deshaun. He's got if he finally this week plays like he's capable of, then everybody's going to be feeling groovy again.
Yeah, we will.
On Monday.
I mean, give us 2-1, and the elite Deshaun Watson again.
That's right.
And that hides a lot of words.
It'll make everybody feel better.
If he rolls another 30 QBR
and they lose to the Titans,
and they lose to the Titans, because then if you start peeking ahead on the schedule, you could be 1-4.
Right, because if you're 2-1 and he played great and you play in the Ravens, you're going to be thinking,
let's
beat
go.
The Ravens.
We've got this.
But if he plays lousy and they lose, you can think, well, we're not beating the Ravens.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you wake up and you're 1-3, and San Francisco's coming next, aren't they? After the Ravens?
Yeah.
Like
Ravens by San Francisco.
Right.
And there's one great way to make sure you miss the playoffs, and that's dig yourself a 1-4 or
That's
1-5
right. Let's
hole.
go, Deshaun. That's my
all eyes on
thought
4
right now. Yeah.
All eyes on 4.
Oh, it's on me.
Now it's all eyes on you now.
Okay, yeah. So the way I look at it is now. Okay, y'all lost probably one of the heart and souls of y'all team, offensively, and not even offensively, just as a teammate.
I would say the heart.
Yeah.
Soul.
How do you honor him? If this is your guy,
That's right.
You know, if this is your guy and this your brother, this is family. How do you honor him?
Yeah.
Because
we'll give them a pass for the second half of Pittsburgh because I think they were still in shock.
there's a lot of shock in that.
But now they've had, they'll have 6 days to gather
Yeah,
their
you
wits.
going into this knowing that he's not going to be there no more. You know that maybe his career could potentially be over. So, how do you honor him? That's my question. As a coach, you coach harder. You do that extra prep. You make sure you give that guy that extra nugget. Make sure that they're well prepared for that game. As a player, you go out there and you cherish every single moment. Every play that you on that field, you go out there and you go as hard as you can because you just witnessed that the next play is not promised. And you know why you do it? Because the guy that you honoring, that's what he did every time he touched that field. And then you don't want to disrespect him and anything that he's brought to that organization. So you go out there and you play as hard as you freaking can. And don't worry, if you get tired, if you go out for dehydration, they will carry you off the field because that's what Nick Chubb would have done. That's what you do for the rest of this season. You honor your brother that's down and you play as hard as you possibly can and you win as many games. Deshaun Watson, listen, I was on Twitter yesterday. And I seen Nick Wright, the national media. Nick Wright was on First Things First, and he was saying, you're done. He said, this right here, you're never coming back. This is going to go down as the worst transaction of all time. What you do with that is you prove him wrong. You prove him wrong.
By the way, that's impossible.
You got so much, you got so much baggage and so much stuff that's happened in your life. And
I'm curious. Bull said that's impossible.
Nothing could be worse than the Herschel Walker trade.
No, nothing could be worse than the Ricky Williams trade.
The Herschel Walker trade gave the Cowboys essentially 4 Super Bowls.
Right. The Ricky Williams trade is worse. But anyways.
The Ricky Williams trade was awful.
Anyway.
This could be the third worst.
But I'll tell you this one from Capital.
Oh, yeah, capital reasons, yeah.
And money. It's right. It would be right up there.
I would say third worst ever if he never any good again.
Anyway,
go ahead.
Anyways, Deshaun, all this national media said that you're done. They said there's no way that you get back to who you were. And you said before the season you wanted to be better than that. Now that this team is riding on you, and it's a lot of pressure. You got a coaching staff that's dependent on you. You got star players that's dependent. You got guys that even came here because of you, because they believe in you. What do you do with all of that pressure? You can, like Bull just alluded to, you say Rocky says if you get knocked down, you can get back up again. It's not about as hard as you get hit. It's about as hard as you can take a hit and keep going. You got knocked smooth out last month on Monday. You got knocked smooth out.
Is that smooth with a V?
Smooth out.
Is he chalked?
No, he ain't chalked.
He's not chalked?
He ain't chalked yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh, that would be his stuff. If Nick Wright is right,
that's right.
then
He's
he'd be
chalked.
That's exactly right.
This whole city still believes in you. It's a couple of naysayers, but that's everywhere in life. Anytime you're supposed to be the man, you're going to deal with some naysayers. You gotta show up. You gotta show out. You don't have the luxury of the running game that we think. Maybe Jerome Ford can be, maybe Kareem Hunt can be, but right now it's all about you. What do you do with that? You got to go out there. You have to deliver. And like I said, I'm gonna break this film down because I see what your problem is a little bit.
Oh, so you're gonna fix them?
You're suffering a little bit of the Josh Allen syndrome, and you got to let that go. That's half the problem.
Stop trying to be a hero.
Yeah, just take what they give you. You're trying to do too much at times.
All right, I can't wait to see that segment.
Just make the play, keep the sticks moving, because it's not about throwing this pretty ball downfield all the time. It's actually about just keeping the chains moving. A lot of quarterbacks has been successful. There's so many quarterbacks that's won Super Bowls from just checking the ball down and taking what the defense is giving them. You got to find that. You got to do it. I know you can identify where to go with the football. You got to stand in there and deliver that ball, because if you don't, you'll let a whole city down, you'll let a whole coaching staff down, you let a whole team down, which is a lot of pressure. But the good news is you went to Clemson, you went to Houston, you resurrected 2 places, because Clemson wasn't that great when you got there, but you made them something. You won them a championship. And Houston wasn't really that good, but you took them to the playoffs, and you actually, I don't know if you won a game.
They won a game.
They won a game in Houston. So you got what it takes to do it. You can resurrect the franchise. You need to be that guy.
I'm glad you're here, because once upon a time you played on a team that suffered a devastating injury at the worst possible time. So I want you to do a couple of things. Take us in the moment of that Michigan game when the injury happened. What was the feeling on the sidelines? What was the feeling when the backup came in and led the team to victory? And how did you guys meander through the 3 biggest games that probably most of you ever played in?
Did you know how to do it?
Did I know Cardale could do it?
Yeah.
Well, he was my roommate. The one thing I knew about Cardale is that I knew Cardale could throw the ball. Like I don't know how good he was at reading defenses and all that. I know that if you give him time to stand in that pocket, he throw that ball faster and harder than anybody I've ever seen up until that point. So I knew that he could throw the ball really well. But when JT went down, it was similar to the Nick Chubb thing, because
you were in shock.
Yeah, because it's like, if you know JT, if he got a pulse in his body, he's going to play. Mm-hmm. So when he didn't get back up, which he tried to, if you go watch the replay, he tried to get up, and they said,
"No, you're done.
Stay down. Your ankle is the opposite way. Please stay down." Mm. So when you see him go down, and you understand the situation that he's been in, the leader that he was, it was some nervousness with Cardale coming in there, because you don't know what to expect from a guy that's never been in a game. You know, you don't know how they're going to react. And I remember the first play I think they called for Cardale was like, it was like 4th and 1 or 4th and 2 or something like that, 3rd and 2 or something. It was something short yardage. And they ran a quarterback like draw. And I'm like, okay, Cardale's 6'5", 250 pounds. That should be easy. And he got stoned. And I remember him saying, yeah, I was just nervous. I had the jitters. So it was like, as a defense, we're thinking to ourselves, we're in shock and we're upset because JT is out, but we got to win this game. Like, we don't know what we're going to get from the quarterback, so we got to win this game. Obviously, through the heroics of Zeke in a 4th and 1, he ended up icing the game and blah, blah, blah. But moving on from that moment on, in those next 3 games, as a defense, it was still, we just seen the performance Cardale gave. It wasn't that great. So the only way we're going to win these games is if we have to play lights out defense. And I'm pretty sure that's what the Browns are thinking right now. We don't know what
your teams were similar.
We don't know what we're going to get from Deshaun right now. So the only way we're going to win these games is we got to find a way to hold people to 0, 7, under 14 points was the goal. They can't get no more than 14 points because we don't know. Obviously, Cardale went out there and did 59, and that was great, and we ended up rolling from there. But yeah, it was a similar situation where defense started to step up, and then once Cardale got that rhythm and he started completing these passes and he got his confidence, it came, and he was able to just continue to make plays. So that's why I know Deshaun can do it, because he did it. He's done it in the league. He's done it in college. He's done it in high school.
As opposed to Cardale, who would not.
Exactly. He's never done it. So you have what it takes. You just got to do it. And the best way to do it is stop going for the big play every time. You don't need the big play. What gets you confidence is just completions. Just seeing your guy catch the ball is something about that. Like when you get into that groove, like, all right, just completion. And then guess what happens? You get that corner that's so desperate to stop
then take a deep route.
Then you hit them with the double move, and now that deep ball is open.
Right.
But you can't open the game up just throwing deep balls. That's not going to work.
Right, if you're hitting them with
you got to get that corner thinking.
He's been wildly inaccurate with his deep balls this year.
True.
Wildly inaccurate.
Yeah. If we all agree that the mental aspect of this is a big part of why he's struggling, right? Do we all agree on that?
I do now more than ever.
Right. So, to your point, if he's completing shorter passes, but all of a sudden his completion percentage is high, guys are catching the ball, they're moving the ball down the field, it's slow, it's methodical, whatever, you would think in his head that would give him some confidence, right? As opposed to chucking it 25 yards down the field.
Completions equals confidence for a quarterback.
Right. And
but it does kind of, Bull, you'll get this, when a power hitter is in a slump.
Yeah.
oftentimes the slump feeds upon itself because now he's trying to hit home runs.
Sure.
And, just about any hitting coach will tell you the surest way to not hit home runs is to try to hit home runs.
Right.
Just go back to your basics. Level swing, make contact, hit the fat part of the ball. They'll happen. They'll happen. But when you're trying to do it, you're forcing it, and it makes it a lot more difficult to do. I think you're right. I think for now, everything should be 15 and in. And if the deep ball is there,
take it,
but don't force it. Because bad things can happen. I think he's thrown maybe six deep balls this year. I haven't seen one of them be close.
High percentage throws. That's what he needs to do right now.
Build your confidence.
Yes.
Get that base built, and then go to the top.
And it's going to sound boring. It's going to look boring to people, but right now you need to, because the only guy that you have chemistry with, which is sad to say, is Amari Cooper. Like, Amari Cooper and him is all timing. If you ever watch him play, him and Amari Cooper has a timing. He knows that when I take this 3-step hitch, when I hitch up, ball got to come out. Amari Cooper's expecting it. And I know you know that because when I listen to you on postgame, thank you, Browns Radio Network, for allowing me to listen to postgame, they ask you a bunch of times, why did you do this or why didn't you throw that ball to Amari Cooper? And you will say out of your mouth, the timing was messed up in that. I slipped and fell, and I knew that my timing was late, so I didn't want to make that mistake and throw it late to Amari Cooper because I know he wasn't going to be expecting it. So I know you have a timing thing with him. But everybody else, you got to figure out your chemistry.
You know.